Hey guys, we'll be discussing part of our US government YouTube channel series, and today's topic is about the US Constitution and the Bill of Rights. The US Constitution is the oldest written constitution of any major government in the world. First, let's begin by talking about the origins of the US Constitution. Prior to the independence of the United States from Great Britain, British colonial rule was mainly a unitary system. And what is a unitary system? Well, it's basically all power flows from one central government to smaller colonies. So therefore, it was from the powerful British government to its colonies in the United States. And this changed after Thomas Jefferson drafted the Declaration of Independence in the year 1776 and after the US defeated the British colonial forces in the Revolutionary War. The US created the Articles of Confederation. And the Articles of Confederation was a short-lived constitution of the United States in which the US adopted a confederate system. And the confederate system is basically a power concentrated in political subunits, which are states with a weak central government. So you could see basically how the whole system of government shifted from how Great Britain ruled the United States at the time when it was under the colonialization, how they had a very strong central government, but they've changed it now into a more weaker central government, but stronger and power concentrated in political subunits, and so therefore power lies in the states. But since this was short-lived, there was a lot of mistakes or weaknesses in the Articles of Confederation. It resulted in a weak central government, individual and state liberties not threatened, and no executives. So they didn't hate kings. That's why they enjoyed the Articles of Confederation. And furthermore, confederacies are usually unstable. And so this led to the Shades Rebellion that showed how the national government was weak and needed to seek a stronger national government. And so this is when they started to revise the Articles of Confederation. And so then two plans came up, which was the Virginia Plan, which favored large states, a strong central government, and two houses, like a larger house would be elected by the people, and it would be a House of Representatives. And so basically, and a smaller house that was selected by a larger house, which is the Senate. And the New Jersey Plan was agreed with a strong central government, but Congress would have one house with states having equal votes, and did not want large population states to dominate the legislature. Since New Jersey would have a smaller population, while in comparison to Virginia would want to have a larger house elected by the people, since they have the larger population, they want to make up the majority of Congress. And so therefore, the two plans led to the Great Compromise. And so this Great Compromise was basically the lower house, states represented by population, which is currently the House of Representatives, and the upper house, which are states, are represented equally with two members. Now we'll talk about the Madisonian principles of government in the Constitution of the United States. The first one is popular sovereignty. Power to govern belongs to the people, a government based on the consent of governed. That's basically the definition of popular sovereignty. And separation of powers. Separation of powers is basically the division of government between branches, which is the executive, and the executive is known as for the president, and the cabinet, and the legislative, which basically Congress, and judicial is the Supreme Court. And also there's a checks and balances, which is a system where branches have some authority over others. So they just try to balance out the powers between all branches of government. And limited government is government which is not all-powerful, and it does only what citizens allow. And lastly, federalism. Federalism is a division of power between central government and individual states. And now we will lead into Federalists and Anti-Federalists, and this will come to talk about the Bill of Rights. The Federalists, which are people that are in favor of adoption of the U.S. Constitution, creating a federal union and a strong central government. The Anti-Federalists opposed the ratification in 1787, which was creating the modern day U.S. Constitution, and opposed a strong central government. And so the Federalists came up with the Federalist Papers, which convinced the public for ratification, and it was made by Alexander Hamilton. And the anti-federalist response was that the central government would threaten liberty, aristocratic tyranny could happen, demand the guarantee of individual rights and liberty, and state power was too limited. So, in order to appease the anti-federalists, the Bill of Rights came up. And the Bill of Rights was initially 10 amendments to the Constitution, and it guaranteed individual freedoms and rights, and a limited power of national government, guaranteed rights to states, and it was ratified in 1789, and the Bill of Rights was added to the Constitution in 1791 in order to appease the anti-federalists, and that is where we have our modern day U.S. Constitution. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and look at the links on this video right now if you want to go through our adventure for our U.S. government channel. Thank you very much.